Welcome to the All Pet Spot Spotlight Podcast, where we bring you inspiring conversations with pet care providers, pet business owners, and pet parents about their experiences with allpetspot.com. Join us as we explore heartwarming stories, expert tips, and success tales from our vibrant community. Whether you're seeking advice, looking for inspiration, or just love hearing about pets, this podcast is your gateway to all things All Pet Spot. Tune in to discover how allpetspot.com is making a difference in the lives of pets and their people.
Hey there, everybody. Bobby Sorton here with All Pet Spot Spotlight Podcast. I'm the founder and CEO of All Pet Spot, a new marketplace that I just launched April 15th of 2024. And today's date is, what is today's date? Actually, May 22nd, so it's just a little over a month. And I have Cheri here with me. I hope I said that right. Cheri. Okay,
yep.
Cheri. I have Cheri here with me, and Cheri just actually got listed onto All Pet Spot. I believe it was just yesterday or 2 days ago, Cheri?
It was, yes.
Great. Well, yeah, thank you for listing on there. So for everybody out there that's watching, this is the first time, or the first podcast I've ever done with All Pets. So Cheri, thank you so much for being on here with me. I'm learning a new software as we do this as well, so it's kind of exciting for me to have a first of everything. I'm a big innovator, and I love the first time experiences. But Cheri here, she's with Farmers Insurance, and she just launched her agency, I think you said May 6th, if I remember right.
That's correct.
Yeah, so she does everything. She's based in, you know what, Cheri, let me just have you explain what you do and who you are. So Cheri, you go ahead.
Sure, I'm a brand new agent with Farmers Insurance, like you said, Bobby. I'm here in Centennial, Colorado at I-25 in Arapahoe. We specialize, of course, in home and auto, but we also have pet insurance through Pets Best. So we can cover your cats and your dogs and make sure that they're all properly protected as well, which is what we're very passionate about.
That's awesome. Yeah, especially, these pets are getting real expensive.
Right?
I think I told you earlier when we were talking, I started All Pet Spot because my daughter, when she was younger, and she still does it now, but even when she was younger than she is now, she's 18, she was pet sitting in our neighborhood, and I always wanted to meet the people, or I should say we, my wife and I, we always wanted to meet the people she was going to go pet sit for, because we wanted to make sure it was like a safe place for her to be.
For sure.
And then while she was going through trying to, get all the information from the person, she was like, well, how are they going to pay me? And I was like, well, I guess if they don't have cash or check, they can Venmo me, and then we'll give you the money. And so it's kind of this like process that we went through. So that's what sparked up this idea for me to say, hey, let's develop All Pet Spot, where anybody who wants to be a pet care provider or dog walker or pick up pet waste or something, they can list on the site. They can actually go and set their own schedule. They can set their own price. They connect everything through their own bank account. So we set up a bank account for my daughter, and everything's all transacted safely and securely through the site. More importantly, I took it a step further where everybody who is going to have the services on here has to go through an ID verification and background check. So I know I was explaining that to you, Cheri, and I think it's important because, as I was saying earlier, these pets are getting real expensive. We have a 13-year-old golden retriever that's still with us right now. He's really getting older, but I remember when we got him, he was expensive, and that was almost 12 and a half years ago.
Right.
And now when we're looking at Goldens, we're like, wow, they're real expensive. So I think the insurance is a great piece of information to have or a great piece to have on the website. So yeah, that's awesome that you're doing the pet insurance as well. So one thing I would just want to kind of talk to you about, Cheri, is I have some questions here. Can you kind of walk me through the experience about how it was for you to sign up, so our listeners and our watchers have an idea, our viewers know what the process was for signing up on All Pet Spot?
Yeah, for sure. I filled out a little bit of information on the website, and then I got a couple different emails, and I had to submit my driver's license and then a selfie of myself to ensure that I matched. Answered a couple quick questions. It didn't take me more than 5 or 6 minutes, maybe on the long side, but it was super fast and easy.
So were you able to do everything right from your mobile device, or did you do
Yeah.
everything on the desktop?
Yep.
So the one question that I know I'm getting some questions about, so it's a question and a question. Were you at all like nervous or like kind of like weary when I sent, because I personally sent that ID verification. I use a program called Authenticate. It's a government type background ID verification. Were you at all weary about it when I sent it out to you, about like scanning your ID and facial and all that stuff?
For a minute, well, not a minute, a second, I was, and I absolutely hesitated because, it is a little nerve-wracking these days to put that out there. But I did recognize that Authenticate logo because I've seen it on other things. So then when I saw that, I was like, well, this seems legit. So I went ahead and did it.
Great. Well, that's good. Good to
Yeah.
know. Because like I said, the most important part for me is just the safety of the site.
Mm-hmm.
I want parents out there whose children that are going to start doing businesses for themselves know that hey, they should be protected. I say protected. At least they went through an ID verification and background check. So the website's doing its due diligence to say, hey, this is a safe person. And the same goes for the person who's actually coming to pet sit. Like, for example, my daughter was the very first one on here. She was my test subject, actually, so we went through this together. But I told her, she's like, well, why do I need to do an ID verification? I was like, because if somebody books you, they want to make sure that you are who you say you are. So if you're coming into their home,
Right.
we're taking care of their pet. So that was my whole idea about it. So, one quick question, or not one quick question, I'll just kind of ask more questions. What motivated you to join All Pets?
Like I mentioned, we're a new business, so I'm just trying to spitballs and throw darts and see what sticks for garnering new clients. I have 2 dogs myself. I use a pet sitter myself, so this seemed like a good fit. So we're just throwing out ideas to see what we can do to find new clients and help more people protect their fur babies.
Cool. Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and bring up the site here so people can see it as well. So like I said, Cheri just signed up yesterday. You can find her by searching city or state. I think you said you're in Centennial area, so I'm just going to
Yep.
type in Denver and see if it pulls you up here. So I just type in Denver, and so it shows this one's Denver, so it's probably because of the zip code. So I'll just go ahead and type in, what's the zip code that you put on your site? On your
80112.
80112. So 80112. So this is what's really cool about how this site is working for me is that it'll always narrow it down within the radius of that zip code. So this is one of the things that I'm constantly working on because as you can see here, pulled up 8010 Chancellor. So I actually typed in something wrong. So this is really good. So it was 80. Dang, not even let me type here. So let's go back here. So 80112.
Correct.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, so I was actually typing it and it pulled up a quick address for me and I didn't pay attention, so I clicked on it. It was actually the street address. So there you are.
There I am.
Her little ad there. She does everything too: home, auto, life, commercial, pet, and oh, you even have a little QR code there. So it looks like I can scan that QR code, and I'll actually see if I can do this right now on my phone. So see our viewers. So I go here into your QR code, and when I tap on it, see where's it taking me? It takes me to petsbest.com. Oh, okay, so I can actually just fill out information on here for pet insurance.
You can, just from the comfort of your desk or your
That
couch.
is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows me what kind of pet I have, and then so I assume this just it gives me so then I can just get a quote, and I'm pretty sure you'll probably contact me after this gets filled out. So, well, that was easy and simple enough. So that's pretty cool.
Yep, that was our goal, is to make it fast and simple.
Yep. Well, that's kind of my goal too with All Pets, and like how you said, everything went fairly quickly right from your mobile device, and the site, even though we're looking at it here on a desktop type view, the site is all mobile friendly, so you can do everything right from your phone. So that's what I love about it. And I really like this part too. So if you had multiple people show up here, it has this little box here, so you can actually click on it and you'll see who it is on that box. So that's really kind of cool too. And when you click on it, it takes you right to your specific location. Oh, are these your 2 little dogs, I take it?
Yep, that's Henry and Danny.
This is a Shih Tzu, right?
Yep, Shih Tzu Bichon and an Aussie Lab.
I was going to say Red Heeler. It almost has a Red Heeler in it.
A
So.
little bit, look, yep, but we were told he was an Aussie Lab. He's such a good boy.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you want to see? I got to show you guys now since we're here. Hey. This is my little guy. He was asleep. This is my office partner.
Aw.
This is Ralph. So he's been going to me with some commercials off the news stations and stuff. You can see his groomer brought out his personality.
Love it.
But yeah, he's my office partner, so he's always down here underneath the bed or underneath the desk on his bed. Sorry, buddy, go back to sleep. So what's cool about this is, and this is what I want to show our viewers, is you went through and as you were filling out your sign up, you went through here and put a little bit of information on your description, and then right here there's some fields or some categories you can go in and check off that you're doing. So in your case, you don't dog walk, pets, any of that type of stuff. But here it shows what kind of services and supplies. The great thing about this too is for people who are signing up, if there's something that I don't have on this pet services and supplies or pet care provider, let me know about it and I can add it quickly. I can add it within like seconds. That way I'm making the site beneficial for everybody out there that's on it. So then of course it shows your location here, and then it shows your profile. So yeah, this is great. And one other cool thing about this too that you probably haven't had the experience yet is it actually can do reviews from customers and review as a customer. So if somebody found you on here, it'll send them a message a couple days later saying, hey, what did you think about Cheri? And then they can go and review you on here. So it's kind of a nice
cool.
way to review it. But the good thing about it too is I can monitor all those reviews. So if somebody's being nasty or inappropriate or something, I can handle the situation. So, and it actually worked because my daughter, she got her first listing on here. This is my daughter Taylin. She actually, not her first listing, her first booking on here. And the person got the review, and right here the person that booked her gave her a review saying she was so patient. And so so it's pretty cool how people can go through and look at this. So I'm hoping it'll work for you too, Cheri.
Yeah, I expect it to be great.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and stop this here, and I'll ask you a few more questions and go from there. So so overall, how has been? Let's see, what do I have here? How has being on All Pot? Oh, yeah, you don't have time for that question because you've only been on for like a day, not even 24 hours. On the stage. So, okay, here's a good one. What tips would you give to other all pets people looking to create an effective and appealing listing? Is there any tips you would do on there?
I think set yourself apart, like what makes you different from anybody else that might be listing. Short and simple, I'm a big fan of that as well.
Yeah, that's cool. I noticed that in your description. It was just a few sentences. That's one thing I wanted to let you know too, and of course all the viewers who watch this. The site is geared for key search word base as well. So even though you're searching within the city or state, you can also search for like specific types of keywords. But the main point is that people really want to know if there's somebody within their location. So even though you're looking at keywords, like you said, you want to keep it short and simple because you want them to just pull up your listing based on where they are and what their location is. So, how would you rate the ease of using All Pet Spot so far? I mean, I'm not sure how much you've been on it. Did you actually go on desktop, or was it all from your mobile?
I actually did both. I did the registration on my phone because that's where pictures and such were. But then I played around on my laptop, so it all worked very flawlessly and equally well. So.
Cool. So that's a good question that I'll ask you then. I'm just improvising now. So you said you registered through your phone because that's where your pictures were. So when you were registering, when you got to the part where putting in the photos that you put in there, the one of your ad or your marketing piece, and then your animals, you could choose the photos right from your phone. Is that right?
Correct. Yep.
And then you could also, I believe, like I said, I think to tell you the truth, I think Taylin showed me this. Yeah, you can actually use your camera too and just take
yes.
photos if you need to. Okay.
Yep.
Great. Yeah, so this is what I want the viewers to know is how easy it is. Let's go down here. Let's talk about your business. I know you already kind of went over it a little bit. You said you're fairly new now, but you're doing everything right now. You're doing home and auto. And what is, I guess for me, I've never actually thought about insuring a pet before, but what is like your biggest pet market or species, I should say?
Well, Colorado's, big dog lover state, so I presume we're going to have lots and lots of dogs covered. There's a couple different packages that we offer too, so we can try to fit everyone's budget too. I'm a big fan of always ensuring at least the minimum of what we offer, and then you can always add to things down the road as your budget may change. But I know I had a dog maybe 8 years ago. She had congestive heart failure, and she ended up in the emergency room in the hospital. And I didn't have insurance for her. I ended up spending like $7,000 on her. Thank God I was in a place in my life where I could afford it, because a lot of times you can't. And then what do you do? Yeah. She was given maybe 6 months to live, and with the extra care that I was able to provide, I had her another 2.5 years.
Oh, okay, great. So is there a deposit, or not a deposit, a deductible that people have to pay?
With one of them there is, and then the rest, one of them covers kind of basic wellness, and then the rest covers more in-depth stuff. So it's really about your budget and what you're wanting to spend on your pet.
Okay. So basically, I guess just walk me through that. So I can actually pick like how much money I want to actually insure the pet for, or do you already have like tiers, or how does that work?
It's based on the breed and the age.
Okay.
Like my coworker quoted his cat, and his cat was like half the price of my dog.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense to some extent.
Kind of like a vehicle.
Yeah.
Base it on the age and everything.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I've never really thought about insuring pets before, so it's interesting to think about that. But I can imagine that. I know some friends of ours, their dog went through things. Oh, actually, my daughter just is here. I'm just talking about you. So. Say hi.
Hello.
So, that's Cheri. So she's
hi, Taylin.
Cool. All right, thank you. Yeah, so I know some friends of ours. I think their cat had a lot of problems and spent a lot of money on him. So I don't even know if they have him insured, but I'm not recommending it to them. So, well, great. I mean, Cheri, this is really all I wanted to go through with this is get the word out about All Pet Spot, and I'm so glad you're on there. And like I said, you are the very first person on here. So hopefully, a couple years from now, when this thing's really big, I can say, hey, here's Cheri. She was the first one on. That's my goal, is to keep promoting it. So anybody out there that help promote it, and I appreciate everything you're doing. I appreciate you taking the time to come on here with me. So.
Absolutely. Happy to help. I think all of us small business owners, whether it's something like you where you started it from the ground up, or me who's working under a big company, but it's still my agency, we've all got to help each other, and we're all passionate about similar things. So why not, help each other find those wins?
Yeah, that's great advice. That's what we're doing. And of course here, I'm a native of Colorado, so that's why I'm starting here in Colorado. And I have a few other marketplaces I've done. I've got my consulting business where I do marketing and all that other stuff. So, I'm just like a serial entrepreneurial. I've worked in the corporate world before, and I'm tired of working really, really hard of getting people's money in, and then they lay me off. So I'm like, all right, let's work for myself now. So.
There you go. Same.
Cheri, I really appreciate it. For those of you watching, go to allpetspot.com. That's ALLPETSSPOT.com. Check out Cheri. You can actually message her directly through the site. That way you guys are communicating through the site. She'll get the information. So thanks again, Cheri. I appreciate it. And everybody, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the All Pet Spot Spotlight podcast, where we've had the pleasure of chatting with pet care providers, pet business owners, and pet parents about their experiences with allpetspot.com. We hope you enjoyed the stories, insights, and tips shared by our amazing guests. Stay connected with us for more heartwarming tales and valuable advice. Until next time, keep celebrating the special bond you share with your pets. And remember, allpetspot.com is here to support you every step of the way. Goodbye for now, and take care.